seems like it's picking up sound. It's just weird to me, like, because you said it was, I had the green bar, but you said it was muted for a half one time, so.
I'll check with Seth. He knows that.
It's muted because there's a slash of the headphone right now.
It could be sound from the camera, so it's just the
Where do I sign? You have to show me exactly because, yes, I'm a referee and I'm blind.
Do we have lineup yet?
They're underneath the.
Sick. Starters here. What is, oh my god. How do you give me this name without a pronunciation? That's hilarious. We'll figure it out. Just try and sound it out.
I would just ask him. I can ask him. I've talked to them a bunch already.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Alright.
Yeah,
Good luck.
That's hilarious.
All glory to the Most High. Only one of those, no tie, no lie, no bow tie. Foe mine, get the bucking like a 4-5. He the first and the last, knew the ending from the beginning of your time. He the light in the sun. When he comes, sunlight, it get no shine. So high with a
Sal Van Damme.
made low, showing no pride. Took a late stroll on a low tide for the lame folks on a boat ride. Came so that we won't die. Gave hope to the same folk that were hating on him. He a dope guy. Most try, but it don't fly. He the lamb in the goat.
I was about to have to do balls all by myself. I was about to do balls all by myself, but I got Jaden to come to the
Oh, that's clutch.
So I was
Yeah,
gonna
I
go.
We were looking to pick people up last minute, so
Sorry.
hopefully we got enough. No tent today, I see.
Yeah.
It will be a sunny one.
It will.
But it's all good. Alright.
Saya Vongsa.
The first name is
Yes,
Saya or the
Saya.
last name
First
is
name
Saya?
is
No, wait a
Saya.
minute.
I'ma make a toast cause we
Saya.
still alive. No
Wait,
beef,
this is Saya.
feel like
So,
Saya Vongsa. Yeah.
shoot
so
the shot.
Dao maybe? Dao.
Coming in hot.
Zaya Vongsa. Zaya Vongsa. Alright, can I write that down real quick?
Yeah, go for it. That's how I have it there.
Saya Vongsa.
Yeah, coming in hot. Just like the fajita. I write what I
Alright, that
live.
works. Thank you.
My life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow. Just like the demeanor. I'm feeding my fam. I'm feeding the meter.
You're good.
They got the iron while I got the
Start
steamer.
some of
I
them
bring the
down.
fire, but you never seen them. I testify, I don't need a subpoena. They want my soul, better go to Korea. I love my dog just like I'm Peter. Gotta protect them.
Where
I mean,
is
they call it, but just like I'm repping. I know
where's
we
the mic
looking out,
at? Is
we
it on
back
that
together,
side?
but I
Oh,
guess that is better
stretch
than
it.
later than never. Like, what's happening? I'ma need y'all quit asking when.
Oh, sick.
Me and my
I
wife
can
on
just
it.
do it from over here. Alright, thank you. Let's see. When do you want me to start it? Because we still have.
Start the big one now.
And then, yeah, once we get to this off, if somebody could just check and make sure I can be heard, that would be good. So I'm unclear on this. Or if Seth is here. Alright, hit the big one. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Shartner Field on the campus of Trinity International University for today's conference matchup between the Titans of Indiana University at South Bend and your TIU Trojans. Trinity International University educates men and women to engage in God's redemptive work in the world by cultivating academic excellence, Christian faithfulness, and lifelong learning. In alignment with Trinity's mission and core values, the university also participates in the NAIA Champions of Character program, which recognizes teams for demonstrating integrity, respect, responsibility, sportsmanship, and servant leadership. In recognition of the university's commitment to the NAIA Champions of Character program and the NCCAA Game Plan for Life, we are committed to the true spirit of competition and upholding the following values of love, integrity, faith, excellence, respect, responsibility, sportsmanship, and servant leadership. We ask that each participant, official, and spectator join us in exhibiting these Christ-like characteristics and help create a positive environment in which to enjoy today's competition. Profanity, derogatory comments and slurs, or other intimidating actions directed at student athletes, officials, team representatives, or other fans will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. Trinity affirms the dignity and value of all people as made in the image of God, laments the divided and broken state of the world, and renounces racism and racial injustice. In response to the reconciling work of Jesus Christ, we commit ourselves to the biblical practices of racial reconciliation, justice, and Christ-centered unity.
When you say the part for the flag for the national anthem, just say just point flags over the football field. Just direct your attention towards the football field and where the American flag is.
So let me say that after prayer.
Yeah,
Or do you
probably.
want me to? Yeah, that'll
Yeah,
probably make
after
sense. So
prayer,
just
yeah.
let me say that before you cue up the anthem. All right.
We'll do face that. Okay.
The mic is definitely working as long as it's hooked up to the feed. Because I don't know, was it one of these buttons or something?
Yeah, I
last
think
time?
this is the input side, and this is what's coming out. So I think the problem was yes. So I think the problem was this was
Oh,
the
so
output
as
was
long
turned
as
off
I
last
can
time.
see
I
this
think.
working, it's
Yeah.
fine.
I
Perfect.
think.
So when do we start the prayer and the anthem? Is that when they're
As soon
already
as
out
they
there?
come out, they're lined up here. As soon as they start walking out, I think that's what I
Well, we should probably let them get there for the
Yeah.
prayer, right?
Yeah.
This one is for the walkout sometimes.
Yes. Oh, here's the. Once you're sanitized. Oh, I gotta reset the clock.
Oh, speaking of, where's the clock setting on here?
So click. Where's my mouse at? CCSS school. Clock. Stop and then type in reset and then start.
All right, let's have the starters, please. Starters.
TIU on 2 is what most people do.
TIU on 2, 1, 2, TIU.
That chant, the Abba Boom, has been in the program for decades.
All right, ready.
Like alumni when they reach out to like send notes to the team or whatever, they still sign Abba Boom. Like that's like instead of sincerely so and so, it's Abba Boom.
Parker, how am I gonna do this? Do I have to carry every single one?
No, one of them goes on the two ends, one
Yeah,
behind
goals.
each goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go through that way.
Yeah.
All right,
Run,
so once
run.
they get spread out,
I'm just
you
kidding,
want me
I'm
to
You
announce
could
it?
leave one of them here for somebody else to set up, right?
And here's some doing ball.
Yes. No. Camera.
Camera.
Yes, camera person drop down.
All right, so once they get fully spread out, we do this?
You can start reading it now.
Ladies and gentlemen, in support of our university's commitments and the commitments of our student athletes, please rise if you are able for the opening prayer and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. Dear God, we thank you for bringing us together today and for the safety you've given IUSB in traveling here today, as well as our fans. We thank you for the student athletes and coaches as we step out onto the field and use the talents and abilities you've given us for your glory. We ask that you watch over us this afternoon as our athletes compete and keep them safe from harm. In your name we pray. Amen. Now please direct your attention toward the football field for the playing of our national anthem. Yeah, also this is still the homecoming one, so we'll have to swap
Oh,
that
my
out.
bad.
It's all good.
I will make a note of that.
Now, fans, let's meet today's starting lineups. First for the visiting Titans. In goal, a senior from Oskroba, Indiana, number 1, Caitlin Paul. A freshman from South Bend, Indiana, number 3, Viviana Blount. A freshman from Napanee, Indiana, number 7, Dao Sayavangsa. A junior from St. Charles, Illinois, number 9, Katie Jones. A freshman from Delaware, Ohio, number 11, Haley Marsh. A sophomore from Goshen, Indiana, number 13, Priscilla Ramirez. A freshman from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 14, Anna Estrada. A freshman from Elkhart, Indiana, number 16, Jessica Dibley. A freshman from Elkhart, Indiana, number 18, Jasuri Vasquez. A sophomore from LaPorte, Indiana, number 19, Rachel Villa. And a freshman from Plymouth, Michigan, number 24, Jordan Aiello. The Titans are led by assistant coach Jim McLaughlin and head coach Bobby Barnes in his 3rd season. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for your TIU Trojans. Starting in goal, a senior from Sycamore, Illinois, number 0, Sarah Davis. A junior from Woodstock, Illinois, number 4, Zoe Vian. A sophomore from Naperville, Illinois, number 5, Elizabeth Bayert. A senior from Flora Vista, New Mexico, number 7, Kinsey Gomez. A junior from Sycamore, Illinois, number 9, Peyton Siragusa. A junior from Encinitas, California, number 14, Morgan Busick. A junior from Crystal Lake, Illinois, number 16, Abigail Olson. A sophomore from Gurnee, Illinois, number 18, Emily Soriaga. A freshman from Gilbert, Arizona, number 19, Sarah Crick. A senior from Lima, Ohio, number 21, Micah Wassing. And a senior from Kalo, Hawaii, number 26, Crescencia Kerr. The head coach for the Trojan in her inaugural season is Morgan Helms, and she is assisted by Isabel Danner in her 4th season.
Oh, I forgot to add Taylor to that, too.
Alright, well, we don't have a ball boys yet, so what do we do?
Oh boy, what happened?
Jared's over there, right?
What happened here? Oh, there. It's all good.
I mean, if you want to go over and do the other side, you can until someone gets here.
I mean, he's over on the other side, so I feel like I should be here.
Yeah, you could stay on this side, 'cause they don't. Morgan.
Well, folks, welcome aboard here on this unseasonably warm October day. The sun is shining brightly, and your TIU Trojans are back in town here at Shartner Field to take on the Titans of Indiana University, South Bend. This is Ethan Oskroba. I will be with you this afternoon for what should be a pretty fun contest, a conference battle. Your Trojans on the season have just a 2-8-1 record, but they faced a lot of quality competition, and they've really fought valiantly given how short-handed they've been in terms of their roster, a pretty shallow roster already. And they've dealt with injuries, they've dealt with players missing for a variety of reasons. They had to forfeit a couple of games ago to Cardinal Stritch, but fought back nicely for their homecoming battle this past Saturday, losing just 2-1 to a talented Roosevelt team. IUSB, on the other hand, has not been off to a great start this year, to put it lightly. They are 0-10 on the season, and they've been outscored 75-1 combined throughout those contests. They scored their first goal in a 4-1 defeat last time around. So a couple of teams that are looking to remedy a slow start to the season, and we are underway. Immediately pestering up front is Sarah Crick, the outstanding freshman striker. Now Zoe Vian has it for TIU. There's Siragusa getting her first touch as she plays it to the back line. Kinsey Gomez, the fifth-year veteran for TIU, will probe the right sideline, but it's got a little too much gusto on it as it finds its way out of play. Here's the throw, playing the sideline. There's Crick able to win it away, or rather, I believe that was, not sure who that was on the sideline, a ways away from the broadcast booth. The Trojans trying to get something going here early. Controlling the possession as Siragusa plays it back to Micah Wasink. Now down the sideline, here comes Abigail Olson, the team's leading scorer last season. She'll try to play it in the middle, a dangerous area, and this one was on the doorstep for Morgan Busick, but does not find its way home. Morgan Busick is normally a defender for the Trojans, but she's been off to a terrific start this season on both sides of the ball, as she will head out wide to take the corner here. She's already got 4 goals and 4 assists on the year and has been red hot of late for TIU. Here's Busick with the low cross. Out in front, Olsen, and now a sliding save, and now it finds its way in there. So an awkward-looking play. I thought it was saved initially, but it does end up going home, and the Trojans lead it 1-0.
Was that right off the cross, or did it bounce before Abby hit it?
So it was an awkward-looking play there, as Olsen did not get a tremendous amount on that one. But it was evidently enough to put it home. So the Trojans claim the 1-0 advantage. Olsen, just her second goal on the season after scoring 12 last year. She's really looking to get going, and that'll be perhaps a nice start to help her generate a bit of momentum. The Trojans are going to need her this season. Here's Siragusa with it, playing it back to Crescencia Kerr. Kerr with time and space, playing it back. That's Elizabeth Bayert getting involved. Now Kerr will thread it through to Siragusa. She's got some room to roam here. Siragusa trying to work her way into the box, now playing it out wide. Here's another cross, and headed across the face, dangerously so, but Siragusa was unable to get a clean foot on it. Now another shot coming in, and it is saved by Caitlin Paul, the Titan keeper. So the Trojans pressing here early. Now Kerr with it. Playing it through to Emily Soriaga. Little give and go here with Crick. Soriaga pestered on the right side. Now we'll play it to Busick, who retreats but is unable to keep it within the confines of the playing field. It's a throw for IUSB. How do we get the goal on here? Now here's Wasink with a little bit of time trying to fit it through to Siragusa. She battles for it, comes out of the pack with it briefly, but does have it taken off of her foot eventually. And now the Titans trying to get a run out. Wasink with a great defensive effort and is able to get there first. Now Wasink turning it upfield. Sideline throw for IUSB. A battle for the ball, and getting there first is Soriaga. Plays it back to the do-it-all dynamic talent, Elizabeth Bayard. The Trojans on the back line with a little bit of space. Here's Vian playing it through to Olsen. She does keep an onside position, but it trickles out of bounds. Here's the throw down the sideline, corralled briefly by Wasink. The Titans have really struggled to be able to clear their zone consistently, while the Trojans are generating plenty of early chances here. Now Kerr pestering the IUSB defender. The Titans hooking up some passes, but they're really not going anywhere with it. And now this one floats out of play, so the Trojans win the throw. Wasink back to Vian. And Vian to Gomez. Gomez working her way up the middle, trying to find Crick, but a couple of defenders on the case. Now Olsen improvising and finding a way to get to that one. She does have it taken away now. I'm not sure if that one checked up off the hand of Haley Marsh. I believe that will be the call, as it didn't look like a ton of contact. So a free kick for the Trojans. The veteran Gomez will take it. Trojans aggressive, a lot of white shirts up front. This one's going to work its way directly to the keeper. And Caitlin Paul will calmly fall on that for IUSB. So the Trojans generating a lot of chances here early. Abigail Olsen, the goal scorer, tucking in a bounding ball off the cross. It was a bit of an awkward-looking play. I wasn't sure it had made it to the back of the net initially, but it certainly did, just working its way over the goalkeeper, Paul, just barely, and getting the Trojans on the scoreboard here early. We'll see if they can parlay that into some momentum and manage to double the advantage here soon. They're certainly generating a lot of chances. Here's Kerr at midfield, trying to play it through to Crick. Siragusa battling for it. She comes away with it. The Trojans showing their physicality, winning a lot of these one-on-one battles for the ball, and it's yielding good results. Now here's Olsen, working the left side again. Olsen trying to chip it through. Siragusa whirling with it, and she has it knocked away. Bayard is on the case for the Trojans, lofts it, or rather lines it back in. But it is eventually cleared on out of danger, but not before another opportunity for Siragusa. Peyton Siragusa and Abigail Olsen were the two leading scorers for the Trojans last year, scoring 12 and 6 goals respectively in that campaign. They've struggled to get it going a little bit this season, but certainly showing signs of life in this contest. Olsen already scoring her second goal of the campaign in this game, and Siragusa, as this one shot on goal by Sarah Crick, but saved. A quickly generating chance is staved away. Another opportunity for the Trojans, but to finish that point, Siragusa, she did have a hat trick earlier this season against Maranatha Baptist just a couple games ago, and getting some really good chances and building on that momentum as the Trojans are starting to hit their stride a little bit. This one played down the right sideline, looking for Crick. The Titans getting there first, but it's kicked right into the feet of Crick. She'll battle for it against a couple of Titans, and now a shot on goal by Siragusa, who pounced on the loose change to generate the opportunity. It's still in play at the corner, now put in. Olsen trying to settle it down and just over the crossbar. Another great look from Abigail Olsen here. Olsen, Siragusa, and Crick. A three-headed monster for the Trojans here early, generating plenty of chances, and we're just about 10 minutes into the contest, so could be a long afternoon for the Titans if TIU can keep firing on all cylinders like this. Siragusa plays it back to Kerr. Kerr back to Soriaga. She's got Bayard on the back line. This Trojan back line has had plenty of time to work, and they've been able to start up some promising offensive attacks by pinpointing passes from there when they've not been pestered. Now here's Olsen trying the middle, but an IUSB defender stepping in front. Now Olsen somehow got it back to her right foot, but it's on out now. Katie Jones handling it for IUSB. And pursuing Gomez is Jones, but Gomez getting there first. And now the first touch of the day for the Trojan standout keeper, Sarah Davis. It's an errant one. Jones is on it and fires it on goal, but handling the hop is Davis. So a nice save by Sarah Davis as she's able to redeem the miscue with her feet with a quick save, her first of the afternoon. Now Davis belting it out toward the midfield stripe. IUSB starting to show some aggression here. A lot of contact there on that challenge, but Soriaga winning it and no call was made. Looks like the officials are going to let them play this afternoon, no doubt about it. Now here is a ball down the sideline, but a little too far as it curves out. Now the IUSB throw, as they're able to hook up a couple passes. Here is Jordan Aiello for IUSB. She will play it through looking for Jones, but stepping in quickly is Zoe Vian. Zoe Vian isn't a player that gets talked about all that much for the Trojans. She's not going to make a big impact in the score sheet given her position. But she is somebody that is extremely active on the back line, blocking shots, pestering would-be goal scorers. She does a lot for this Trojan defense. Now here's a great ball through for Olsen. Olsen still fighting for it. Nice touch inside. Olsen right in front of the goal and just walks that thing in pretty much. So Olsen has a brace early in this one and another really strange-looking finish. But it does find its way in, so the real wizardry there from Olsen wasn't the goal itself, wasn't the finish, as she was able to practically walk into the goal while still possessing it. But it was the fact that she was able to maintain possession when it seemed the IUSB defender was easily going to take it off her feet. Did a brilliant job to work it inside and then evade the goalkeeper, albeit in rather a choppy fashion. So Abigail Olsen is really breaking out in this game after scoring just one goal so far this campaign. She has already got 2 for the Trojans early in this contest. And we are just about 12 minutes in here, and the Trojans lead comfortably. Here's Gomez. Gomez with a little bit of time through to Soriaga. Give and go as Gomez works her way into the attacking half. Now down the sideline looking for Busick, who's transformed her role to become a much more prominent player on the offensive end for the Trojans this year. Here's Soriaga. Soriaga whipping it in there. Olsen on it again, but it steers its way free. Not sure if Olsen was ruled offside on the play, but I believe that's what happened. A correction, I guess they call it a handball, presumably against Olsen there, as that one came up a little bit high as she attempted to corral it. Here's Vian on the spot once more for the Trojans. Now here's a ball through. On the dead run is Bayert, and she will stave off the chance for the moment. Great hustle by Bayert to prevent a direct run at goal for Katie Jones. Jones has had some good runs here early, putting some pressure on the Trojans. But so far, the defensive back for the TIU Trojans has been up to task. This one caroming free to Priscilla Ramirez. Back to Ramirez, as she'll try to go to work with it for the Titans. Again, looking for Jones, but there's plenty of white shirts back on defense. So what an explosive start from the Trojans in pursuit of their 3rd win this season. 2 goals, both scored by Abigail Olsen in the early going here, as TIU has been playing no games in the early going. Very aggressive, a lot of great offensive chances, and 2 goals that have not been pretty by Olsen, but they count on the score sheet nonetheless, and great to see her coming alive for TIU, as she's going to be vital as a scoring threat for this team to be successful this season. Now pursuit by Soriaga, but the Titans come away with it. Pass threaded through to Aiello, looking for Jones, but it's intercepted by Gomez. Gomez to Soriaga. Plays it to the explosive freshman Sarah Crick. Crick scored in 4 consecutive games earlier this season. She's looking to start a new stretch here. She came in as a goalkeeper and was expected to do nothing more than really just back up the outstanding Sarah Davis in goal, but she's found a great opportunity for herself as an offensive player for the Trojans. And they'll look to get her involved once again. She's already had a couple of quality chances. Now a goal kick for South Bend. Caitlin Paul set to take it. The Titan keepers had a decent start. She's had a couple of nice saves, but also both the goals were at least somewhat preventable. Here's Siragusa stepping in to take it, off to Soriaga. And Busick into the box, but it bounds down in front harmlessly. Looking to feed Abigail Olsen once again. But it will carry him out for a goal kick. South Bend definitely taking their time here. The Trojans have brought a very aggressive attack that seems to have them on their heels a little bit. Neither of these teams have a terribly deep roster, so they'll both seek to intelligently conserve energy as this match goes on, but IUSB, for a team that's already fallen behind 2-0, does not seem to have a ton of a sense of urgency. Still a lot of time left in this one, though. Siragusa plays it back to Vian. Gomez with a quick one-touch, and now flipping it out to Bayert. Bayert, it took a strange bounce off the turf, but Bayert remains collected. Here's Vian, an aggressive first touch, and she'll flip it onward to Olsen. Olsen playing the corner, looking for Siragusa, but she's beat to the ball by Haley Marsh, who just dumps it on out. Now Wasink with the throw to the red-hot Olsen. Finds Soriaga. Soriaga will have a go at goal, and it's just wide left. So Emily Soriaga trying to keep the defense on its toes here, unleashing a brilliant strike. It just hooks left of the goal, but she had room to work with, especially as the goalkeeper Paul was shaded over toward the right side, not anticipating a shot there. Soriaga now stepping in front of this one as the Trojans try to possess it, and they will. It's Vian hopping onto it off the carom. Now an errant touch by Wasink. Here's Vian stepping in front to intercept this pass. Looking for Soriaga, or rather Siragusa, but stepping in front was Jasuri Vasquez. And it finds its way all the way past the sideline for a Trojan throw. Vian turns and quickly hurls it in to Wasink. Now this one a little bit wide, and the Titans will have a throw from the attacking half for perhaps the first time of this game. Most of the game has been played on the Trojan side of the field. Here's Gomez, calmly playing it up to Soriaga, who clears it past the midline. Now good work by Soriaga. She's been all over in the early going here. Wasink stepping through the defender to get to that. Soriaga with options, playing it through to Olsen. The flag still down. Olsen is onto it, unable to put it directly on goal, but she'll play it back to Siragusa in a dangerous area, but it's fallen on by Paul as Siragusa couldn't get quite enough on the left-footed strike, but another quality chance for the Trojans. And what a brilliant ball put through by Emily Soriaga. Now the punt, it's a lot of hang time on that one, a good high one. Kerr looking to get there as she does steal it away for the Trojans. Little give and go with Wasink. Kerr now fitting it through. Soriaga plays it back to Bayert. Bayert surging up the right sideline. Good individual effort by Bayert. And it finds its way out, but it will be a Trojan throw as it glanced off an IUSB defender. Now Bayert continuing to show some activity. Here's Vian. A little bit of miscommunication, but still getting there first will be Wasink. Wasink playing it to the corner to Olsen. Olsen perhaps trying to add an assist to her impressive totals. Nope, it's right on goal, but this one will be saved. And perhaps a bit of a heat check from Abigail Olsen. You see it in basketball, of course, when a shooter gets red hot. Will attempt to put up some long-range attempts, and Olsen definitely feeling herself, and she deserves to. She's been terrific with 2 goals already in this thing and could have added a third, but Caitlin Paul sure-handed on that occasion, able to stop the effort that time. So it remains 2-0 TIU. Here's Vian. Back to Gomez. Gomez flips it through to Kerr. Kerr has Soriaga. A lot of completed passes. Now here's a good ball through. Oh, and what a save coming out of goal. As Morgan Busick is denied at the doorstep. Another terrific ball through by the Trojans. And Busick with yet another quality chance today. The Trojans and Coach Morgan Helms' idea to put her up front has been a terrific one, and it's paid dividends so far. Already 4 goals this season for Busick. She almost had a 5th, if not for the terrific effort by the goalkeeper, Paul. Now this one working its way on goal on the effort from Siragusa, but Paul has the answer once more. So after a bit of a shaky start, a really impressive sequence from Caitlin Paul in goal for the Titans. Now here's Vian calmly withstanding the pressure and getting that one away. Bayert got a little bit of space to work, but it's picked off by Jessica Dibley. Now stepping in is Crescencia Kerr to get it out of danger for the Trojans. Wasink playing it through, but a little too hot for Soriaga, or rather Siragusa. Olsen stepping in front. Olsen to Siragusa. Siragusa has a little bit of room to roam, but a nice defensive effort by Haley Marsh to snuff out the chance, but the Trojans will take the corner as a consolation prize, no doubt about it. So just over 20 minutes remaining in half number 1. And the Trojans have already built up a 2-0 advantage on the strength of 2 goals from Abigail Olsen, her 2nd and 3rd of the year. Olsen will check out and get a rest, as will Peyton Siragusa. Both have been working hard for the Trojans here early. Now here's a ball hooked in. The keeper gets a paw on it, but it's bounding around out in front, and now Paul is able to cover it up for the Titans. A little bit of indecision perhaps from Caitlin Paul in goal, as she just reached out and got one open hand on it. A lot of times as a goalkeeper, if you can only get one hand on it, you at least want it to be a closed fist so you can get that thing out of danger. But it seemed to me as if Paul couldn't decide whether or not she wanted to pummel it out or try to grab hold of it. But the indecision won't cost her here. Now here's a long effort on goal. And Sarah Davis calmly sliding over to corral the effort from Katie Jones. Davis' 2nd save of the afternoon. Davis has had a terrific year in goal for the Trojans. A .743 save percentage to go with a .295 goals against average this year. She was also named I believe the Conference Player of the Week one time this season. Has definitely been a stalwart as the last line of defense for TIU. And now due to these warm, unseasonably warm conditions on this early October afternoon. We will have our first water break of the game. We'll have one of these about midway through each half. A good time to take stock of this contest where it's certainly been a good start for the Trojans so far. This TIU team, coming off a pretty solid year last year, has not had the start that they've wanted, but they are taking a big step toward remedying that today. 2 goals within the first 10 or 12 minutes of play, both scored by Abigail Olson, who's already tripled her goal total this season. She had just 1 coming in, 1 goal, 2 assists, and now has immediately, right off the bat, scored a brace in this one to give the Trojans a 2-0 advantage. And just a lot of positive developments for the Trojans this afternoon. They've just looked very strong in all facets of the game. Their defenders operating calmly and decisively to snuff out the few chances that IUSB has managed to get. Sarah Davis has had the answer on the couple of occasions that they have managed to get a shot on goal, and the midfielders possessing very well, and great efforts from Abigail Olson and Peyton Siragusa, who were both giving IUSB all they could handle on the offensive end in this one. Olson, of course, capitalizing with the 2 goals, but plenty more chances than that for the Trojans, who have thoroughly dominated this first half of the first half. Well, the break completed, and we are set to be back in action momentarily. It is a warm and sunny afternoon here in Bannockburn at Shartner Field, 70 degrees to be exact, and not a cloud in sight, just a few wispy clouds far off on the horizon. But the sun has had absolutely nothing to impede it, making its way to the pitch, which is creating the difficult conditions. And very important for the players to remain hydrated, especially for these 2 rosters that don't run all that deep. You're not going to see all that many substitutes for either of these teams. So certainly important for the starters to keep themselves hydrated throughout this afternoon. Here's Kerr, slicing it through to Sydney Matthews, who's just checked into the game for the Trojans. Now Micah Wasink is on it. And Vian playing it back to the keeper, Sarah Davis. A rare touch for Davis, who's had a pretty quiet afternoon, but she does have a couple of saves thus far. Davis playing it out wide to Soriaga, who's been really impressive in this one, creating a lot of chances and hooking up with her teammates on several passes. Now a long ball in. Sarah Crick trying to find her way to it. This one does make its way out of play, so bit of a mistake there by Haley Marsh defensively, and it'll give the Trojans a throw in a dangerous area. This one played in short. Now in toward the box. Wasink has got it and drops it back for Zoe Vian. Vian through to Kerr. Kerr connecting with Crick, who plays it right back to Soriaga. Now Busick to Vian. The Trojans passing with remarkable efficiency, looking for an opening. Here is Madeline Stacy with a chance on goal, but sliding in to intercept is Caitlin Paul, who just barely got there in time. As had Stacy managed to corral it with a slightly less forceful touch, It certainly would be 3-0 Trinity right now. But another great chance for the Trojans. And the substitutes, Stacy and Matthews, making their presence felt early. Now here is Kerr, a bit of a scrap here. Not a lot has been called, but this one will be called on Kerr. Little too much contact with Dao Sayavongsa. Number 7 in the dark color today. The Trojans wearing white on this occasion. IUSB with, not sure if it's a very dark brown or a black, but certainly a stark contrast from the Trojan uniform, so no confusion there. This one is put in, but rolling harmlessly out to Davis, who's now going to try to handle it with her feet and turn and go quickly, seeing if the Trojans can get a run out. Down the sideline is Busick to Soriaga. Another great ball by Soriaga. Threads it through to Crick. Crick aggressively coming on. She's tripped up, but no call, and the flag is up. It is offside, as Bayert and Stacy wandered a little bit too far toward the Titan goal. So the Trojans continuing to generate great opportunities to get their third, but they've been unable to do so far. Olsen and Soriaga remaining on the bench right now. The Trojans turning to some of their substitutes to generate a spark and let a couple of their stars get some rest here. Here's Busick playing it through to Matthews. Soriaga, and I believe that one checked up off her hand at some point in the sequence. So the Titans will get a long-range set-piece opportunity. It will be Marsh to take it, one of their prominent defenders today. Gomez getting her forehead to it first. Now Matthews finding a way to win the ball momentarily for the Trojans. Good pursuit now by Madeline Stacy. She's trying to find a way to come away with it, but unable to do so. However, here's an effort from Wasink, jumping on the loose change, but belted it a little bit too deep and high. A good effort from Micah Wasink, just instinctually finding her way to the loose ball. Not somebody who's going to factor in a ton on the offensive side, similar to Vian, defensive specialists. But they've certainly got the ability to put the biscuit in the basket if the situation calls for it. Here's good physical defense by Vian, winning it back for the Trojans. Now Kerr playing it back to Gomez. Gomez with a nice juke, shaking out Katie Jones. Kerr plays it back. Wasink to Vian. Vian belting it with her right foot, trying to thread it through to Crick. Now good pursuit by Madeline Stacy, spinning as she tries to win it back for the Trojans, and she will, at least for the moment, as Vian will hang on to it for TIU. Just relentless, tenacious effort from Trinity to win that ball back. They are not giving the Titans a second of comfortable ball security. Now Kerr stepping away with it. Has her path impeded, but able to hang on to it. Busick through to Soriaga. Back to Vian. She's got plenty of time. And elects to play it to Wasink. Wasink a little roller to Matthews, trying to play it to Stacy down the left side. Stacy crossing it in front, and it's secured by Caitlin Paul. Firm hands on the near post from Paul is able to deny the Trojans at the doorstep one more time. Now this one played through. Now here's an opportunity perhaps for Crick. Coming off her line is Paul, but recovering on the defensive effort is Marsh. She's able to get it out of danger. Boy, there were defenders for IUSB in the area, if not in front of the Trojans. But an interesting decision from Paul. She's had some errant decision-making in this contest so far, though her defense bails her out on this occasion. Here's Matthews, out wide. Stacy toward the middle, and it's gotten rid of by Marsh, who's been very active defensively. It will be, I believe, a Trojan throw. One of the most difficult things that a keeper has to do is deciding when to come off that line, and it can lead to some pretty embarrassing mistakes, but it's a heck of a lot easier said than done. They're expected to be routine calls, but sometimes the margin of whether or not to come off can be razor thin and make you look silly if you're wrong either way, in addition to potentially adding a tally to the opponent on the score sheet. So those are high-stakes plays, and they're a heck of a lot harder than they look. You can't blame Paul too much, but good work by her defenders to back her up on that occasion. This one's played out wide into space for Wasink. Wasink with a nice centering touch. Gets it to Kerr, who's been very active. A lot of offense has run through her. Now this one in front, and it works its way in. The strike and the score from Sydney Matthews coming off the bench to make it 3-0 Trojans. And Matthews is swarmed by her teammates. A great goal for the Trojan substitute, as she was able to get to that and just blast it forward, almost a toe kick it looked like. A very firm shot. The keeper, Paul, got her hands to it, but was unable to corral it cleanly, and just too much power as it works its way through and in. So Sydney Matthews is on the score sheet for the Trojans, and it's 3-0 TIU. 12 minutes remaining here in half number one. This one down the sideline and out. A throw for the Titans. Jones trying to corral it for them, but Busick with great on-ball defense, coming away with it, now once again stepping through to grab it as Busick. Even though she's been a force as a goal scorer for the Trojans, she certainly hasn't forgotten her defensive instincts. Denying a couple of chances. Now this time it's Kerr stepping in front as the Trojans will look to run with it. Here's Stacy pirouetting as she hangs onto it, playing it to Wasink. Wasink coming in hot down the left sideline, now trying to play it through, but off the face of a defender. Stacy now with some time, though. Stacy will try to hook it on goal, but does so without quite enough juice on the shot as Paul falls on it before the Trojans can pounce on the loose change in the goal crease. This one drilled toward the sideline. Not a clean touch by Katie Jones for IUSB, so the Trojans reap the rewards. Gomez playing it through to Busick. Busick now showing some burst down the right side. Busick continuing to dismantle defenders, and she's going to hit it toward goal looking for Stacy, but a little bit too far. A sensational effort from Morgan Busick as she shook out about 3 different IUSB defenders to create that chance, but just slightly out of sync on the run, attempting to find Madeline Stacy. Here's the goal kick booted out by Paul. Wasink able to force it back to Vian. Now Busick working the middle. Scoots it through the turf to the goal scorer, Matthews. Now Kerr finding Soriaga. Out wide. Believe that's Bayert down the far side. Bayert making things happen, trying to find the Trojan runners. It was Stacy and Matthews looking to capitalize again. Those Trojan substitutes have made an immediate impact that has given Coach Helms the luxury of some extended rest for
Soriaga and Olsen, the normal spark plugs up front. The goal kick through to Jessica Dibley. Busick stepping in front to intercept this pass. Now playing it through to Gomez, finding her way toward the attacking half. Back to Sarah Crick as the Trojans shuffle their formation a little bit. Crick with a good effort, but it will be stolen away and now played aside by Rachel Villa. So a Trojan throw deep in a dangerous area here, however, as they look for their fourth of the half. Bayert trying to win it away, but unable to do so. Here's Jordan Aiello. A nice foot. Reaching up to grab it was Crescencia Kerr. But South Bend does come away with it momentarily. Not a clean touch, however, up front. And here comes Morgan Busick looking to make something happen. Threading it through to the veteran Gomez. Gomez trying to play it out wide, but it's intercepted by the Titans. That's Priscilla Ramirez with it. Busick taking it away as IUSB, they've been able to hook some passes together. They've been able to generate a couple of chances up front as this opportunity is offside. Katie Jones on the run. But they have not been able to complete a lot of passes while also advancing their position. Credit the Trojan defense for doing a really nice job pestering them, forcing them to play the ball quickly when it's in dangerous areas. And they've done a really nice job keeping the Titans off of the score sheet and really keeping their back line and their goalkeeper out of a lot of danger thus far. Now another Trojan throw with 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Looks like it will be down the sideline. Busick taking it, or rather Crick perhaps. Now trying to jump on it is Wasink. A nice touch played out wide now by Matthews. And Stacy back to Vian, who's got plenty of space as there was nothing doing up front for the moment. Now here is Crick. Back to Crescencia Kerr. Kerr through to Wasink, who flips it over to Stacy. And the flag is up. So a nice sequence from the Trojans once again, but it will come to an end on the offsides call. The Trojans putting consistent pressure on the Titans throughout this first half. It's led to 3 goals, but it could have led to quite a few more. So many quality chances. As this one is popped through to Stacy. Stacy to Gomez, who will have a go, but slices it toward the right side and out for a goal kick. But the consistent Trojan pressure has led to some solid results thus far. Very early on, Abigail Olsen had stacked up 2 goals already for TIU, increasing her season total from 1 to 3 as she will set her sights on the heights she reached last year, scoring 12 for the Trojans. Now a foul called, as they're going to get Stacy for this one. And then the substitute, Sydney Matthews, scoring the 3rd one for the Trojans. On a screamer out in front that couldn't be corralled by the goalkeeper, Caitlin Paul. So the Trojans out in front comfortably in this one and still able to give extended rest to a couple of their stars, Siragusa and the 2-goal scorer, Olsen. This one finding its way out. The Titans will try to play it quickly off the throw. Good effort by Wasink, boxing out her opponent and managing to steal the ball away. Vian back to Busick. And Busick playing it wide as the Trojans evade danger once more. This one is in far. Coming towards it is Gomez, also out the goalkeeper, Paul, and she's able to get there in time. So a good chance out in front for Kinsey Gomez. Normally a backliner for the Trojans, but getting some opportunity in a goal-scoring capacity today. Here's Vian hustling to try to keep it in. She does so. Vian, with all the time in the world, plays it up the sideline to Stacy. Stacy's touch a little too forceful. But stepping in is Matthews. This one hooked around nicely by Viviana Blount. But Vian is on it. A good touch from Vian, as she'll play it back to the goalkeeper, Sarah Davis. Davis did mishandle one with her feet earlier that led to a shot on goal, but she was able to redeem the misplay with a nice save. This touch a little better. Now a battle near midfield. This one seemed as if it would find a dangerous crease, but Vian's able to retreat and snag it fairly comfortably. 3 minutes remaining in half number one. The Trojans have built up a 3-0 advantage. Here's Busick. It's been in her more customary backline role lately in the latter portion of this second half. Now here's a throw for IUSB. The IUSB offense has struggled most this season, just scoring one goal, but it was in their last game, and they're looking to build up some momentum. They've had a couple shots, but the Trojans have thwarted most of their efforts and kept them off the scoreboard thus far. Now Olivia McAleer will check into the game for the Trojans, as Emily Soriaga will get a rest after putting in a shift in the midfield for the Trojans. She created several great opportunities and completed a ton of passes for TIU. A big part of the reason, even though she hasn't logged a goal herself, that the Trojans lead 3-0 here. Now a sideline throw. Looking for an opening are the Trojans. Gomez will handle it. Gomez back to Busick. Vian has it. Slipping but recovering is Vian. And she plays it through nicely to Kerr. Kerr to the goal scorer Matthews, trying to hang on to it. Now out in front, McAleer's first touch. Here's Matthews. She'll play it back to Kerr. So the Trojans possessing, just lurking, looking for an opportunity to break through. Now Crick. Crick with it, flipping it in, but a fairly comfortable save for Paul, who falls on it. Just a minute left now. IUSB in no hurry. They would be content to hear the halftime whistle, only trailing by 3. As the Trojans have brought a lot of pressure, and the consensus here on this sunny day at Chartner is that it could be a much larger margin with the way the Trojans have played in this one. Nice interception by Wasink. Kerr with it. Working it back to Crick as the Trojans looking for one more chance perhaps, but here is Katie Jones stealing it away. Never feeling the pressure was Sarah Crick. So IUSB sending everyone forward, now sensing an opportunity to possibly draw one closer in the shadow of halftime. Played back to Vian, threads it through. Now this one chopped into the box. Jones hustling after it. It is out in front of the goal, and at the buzzer it finds its way in. IUSB is celebrating it, though that was very close. Of course, I do believe they are going to credit it. A really strange scene here, as typically in professional soccer you're not going to have a buzzer that goes off. The official's going to keep time. So they're not going to blow the game dead in the middle of an attacking chance like that. But when you do have a running clock and the buzzer goes off, it's a very strange situation there, as that thing hit the twine at about the moment that the clock expired. The officials conferring now, but I do believe they are going to give it. So at the very last moment, and I say that in the most literal sense, South Bend does draw one closer on a crazy goal. So obviously, if you're watching a Premier League game or a professional soccer game, you're going to have the concept of stoppage time, and the official will blow it dead when a team does not have an attacking chance. But here you do have a clock that expires at a particular moment. However, apparently as long as that shot is away, it does not matter at what point it finds its way through to the goal, and it definitely had been shot before zeros were on the clock, so it will count. Still an explosive first half from TIU. They lead at 3-1. 2 goals from Abigail Olson, and 1 more from the substitute Sydney Matthews. So we will hit a quick halftime break before the action resumes here from Shartner Field.
careful when you put the thing down. It just select. Yeah. It's always got to be M1.
So how do we search for the score?
So you gotta make sure you click on this scoreboard layer here, the CCAC scoreboard, because it's a CCAC game. And then you come to this first layer here. If you want to adjust the score, you click scoreboard. If you need to adjust the clock, you click on the clock layer. And then you go back to this 3-dot one here. Reset. Stop. Reset.
Can we make it second half?
Yes. So that one, same thing, scoreboard. Julie. Julie.
Well, we are moments away from the resumption of action here in the second act, the second half of this contest. The TIU Trojans are leading Indiana University South Bend by a score of 3-1 after the first half of play. The Trojans thoroughly dominated the half in terms of possession, in terms of chances created. They had 2 early goals from Abigail Olson, as she's now up to 3 goals on the season, looking to replicate her impressive total of 12 from last year. Olson and Peyton Siragusa were everywhere for the Trojans offensively in the first half. And then the Trojans got a third from Sydney Matthews, a substitute. Managed to tack another one on to make it 3-0 at the time. But IUSB getting one back literally at the gun on a late scramble as time expired. I believe the goal is credited to Katie Jones, the striker for IUSB, who was just able to loft one up as Sarah Davis had vacated her crease, and it bounced in as time expired to draw IUSB one back. So the Trojans have really been clicking on all cylinders, but South Bend is still within reach. TIU 2-8-1 on the season, looking to get their third win, where IUSB is 0-10, and they had not scored in their first 9 games, but now with the goal here today, they've scored in both of their last 2 games. So they're slowly becoming a more dangerous opponent as this season goes on, and these Trojans, they've faced a lot of quality competition this year. So they're going to have to sustain the energy and win the games that are winnable. So the teams running their sprints, huddling up, and getting ready to get things going. In the second half, it's the Trojans 3 and IUSB 1. They'll swap sides here for half number 2. The Trojans back out there, still with a couple of substitutes on the pitch by the look of it. Still in the game is Olivia McAleer, who came on late in the first half. It does, however, look like Abigail Olson and Peyton Siragusa are back in the game for TIU after they sat out the latter portion of the first half. Though the admirable contributions of Madeline Stacy and Sydney Matthews, who scored the Trojans' third goal definitely enabled TIU to rest their 2 stars. They will go back to work in the second half here, looking to put this one away. McAleer is at center field to kick this one to her teammates. The whistle blows, and we are underway in the second half. The Trojans immediately trying to play this one through, but unsuccessful as it now caroms back to Vian. The first touch of the second half for Siragusa. Back to Vian, who rolls it up the line to Olsen, who's also back in the game. This one intercepted briefly by Jordan Aiello. But now Busick belting this one, and right off the face of Dausaya Vongsa, who took that one like a champ for the Titans, however. Now Crick threading it through to Soriaga. Emily Soriaga through looking for Olsen. Olsen looking for her third, and it's paddled down by Caitlin Paul. So a quality chance, and Emily Soriaga had a terrific first half for TIU. She created so many chances, completed a ton of accurate passes in half number 1 and picking up right where she left off in the second. Now probing the left side is Abigail Olsen. That's her favorite spot down there. She's repelled this time, but does manage to win a Trojan throw. This one toward the middle, and McAleer bounding up off the turf. Olsen settles it down. Now played back to Wasink. Vian spraying it in toward Crick, but it's ushered out by Haley Marsh. The Trojans still in hot pursuit, keeping it on their end. Here's Morgan Busick with some speed. Busick stepping through a couple of defenders, but it's clobbered out of there. Once again by Marsh, who has been far and away the most active defender for South Bend, and a big reason why the deficit has not swelled to a greater margin. However, here comes a free kick for the Trojans. Morgan Busick set to go. She's scored from deep off set pieces a couple times this year. This one makes it all the way to the goal, but it's handled by Paul. So Busick not afraid to have a go at goal even from deep. It's a very strong right foot that's enabled her to score a couple of her 4 goals this season. Now, Sayavangsa testing Bayard, but Bayard up to task for the Trojans. A Titan throw to be taken by Jasuri Vasquez. She lofts it in toward the corner, but Bayard stepping in to intercept and to clear out of danger. McAleer, a step slow with that touch, however, but the Trojans do win it back. This one played down the left side. That's the domain of Siragusa and Olsen, but neither of them able to get it first. However, the Trojans do win the throw. Here's Busick now. Busick always dangerous when she's got a little bit of space. Can pass and can shoot with confidence. Now this one's lofted in, bounding around in the box dangerously, but now tapped on out by Ramirez. All the way back to Gomez. Gomez pestered by the goal scorer, Jones. Now here's Wasink. Threading it through down the sideline. Here's Siragusa. Siragusa down the middle looking for McAleer. McAleer hits the deck in the box, but no foul called. Probably the right call there. Just a good aggressive play by McAleer, giving it everything she could to make it to that one. But not quite ever able to catch up to that ball. Busick coming free with it, but it's cleared on out by Viviana Blount. Now here's Jones trying to create another chance, but it's Gomez pestering her. A good shot, however, a good right-footed shot in traffic by Jones, but it's handled by Sarah Davis. It's been a nice afternoon for Davis, if limited. She's had a couple of nice saves. Although that late scramble where she came off her line cost the Trojans an opportunity at retaining the clean sheet. Here's Vian stepping in to grab it. Vian working her way around Anna Estrada. Intercepted by the Titans. Looking for Dibley, but on the case is Micah Wasink. Gets it out of play, but they do concede a throw. Now this one chucked in. Chopped up, but IUSB are retaining it. And they're going to say a deflection here off of a Trojan, and that's going to lead to a corner for IUSB. That looked as if it had just been booted out, I believe, by Vasquez, but it must have gone off a white shirt on some point during the ball's flight. And it will lead to a corner kick for IUSB. It's a low one. Belted in there. Olsen stepping in to intervene. Now this one played back into the box, but another good defensive effort by Bayert, who's now trying to turn the defense into some offense. Bayert streaking down the middle of the field. Bayert finding Olsen. Olsen with the head of steam into the box, and she's bullied off the ball by Viviana Blount with a nice defensive stand as Paul is able to retrieve it for the Titans. So another great chance for TIU. They turn the other team's corner into a fantastic chance of their own. Soriaga coming off a terrific first half, now trying to get involved in the scoring. Here's Soriaga off the give and go, and stonewalled by Haley Marsh. Another good defensive effort by Marsh, but yet another sensational chance for the Trojans, and good to see Emily Soriaga getting some action in that sort of capacity, as she's been terrific in terms of from a playmaking standpoint, but now getting her first chance to shine in the attacking effort. Her efforts do yield the Trojans a corner. Abigail Olsen set to take it. Olsen hooking it in, a low one with some precision. I believe that was Busick who had a good go at it. Pings around now, here's a deep shot by Bayert, and what a save by Paul. A terrific long-range effort by Elizabeth Bayert. Denied by a full extension two-handed save from Caitlin Paul. So Paul has stood firm on a couple of these Trojan attempts. A couple of really impressive saves, but she's had a pretty inconsistent afternoon. She's also been a little bit indecisive and has had a couple of misplays. So a really interesting sequence. Now this one put in for McAleer, stepping through Soriaga, and this one crossed in front by Crick. Now with it is Olsen. Olsen through to McAleer. It's in! It is in! And it's 4-1 TIU. McAleer off the bench to score it for the Trojans. A terrific sequence from TIU, and their substitutes getting all the love today. Sydney Matthews with the goal in the first half, and now Olivia McAleer finding the back of the net for TIU. Olsen picking up the assist to go with her 2 goals. And so the Trojans going with the proven mainstay Olsen early and turning it over to a couple of the substitutes, showing that they can do it too. McAleer and Matthews with goals for the team in white today as they reestablish that imposing 3-point lead. or 3-goal lead, rather. This one did carry him out the back, and it will lead to a corner opportunity set to be taken by Haley Marsh. Marsh belts it with her right foot, hooking it in there, but Gomez stepping in front. And now another header by Gomez to get it out of danger momentarily. The Titans retaining possession for the moment. This one working its way toward the goal. Dangerous chance out in front. A slide by Davis and a spoil by Olsen, so the Trojans hold firm. A really dangerous chance. Those bounding balls out in front will give goalkeepers and defenses nightmares, as whoever gets to it first has got a tremendous chance to put it in the back of the net. But the Trojans scramble and manage to fend off the opportunity this time. Now they send IUSB packing with this deep one out. Rachel Villa playing it back to her goalkeeper, Paul. A nice high foot there from Busick, and Busick playing it through to Crick. Crick taking a touch inside, but stepping in front for IUSB. Once again, it's Haley Marsh. I've called her name plenty of times because she's been all over on the defensive back for IUSB, but now checking out is Olivia McAleer, to a lot of joy from her teammates as she gets on the board in this one. Couple of Trojan substitutes as they take the corner. Here is Olsen hooking it in there. Gets through the first wave, but comes out to Busick. Busick will play it wide to Olsen. Olsen on the right side, has some time. She'll cross it in again, and it's fired on and in. I believe it's Siragusa scoring it for TIU. So the Trojans have put the pedal to the floor in the second half. And Peyton Siragusa getting on the score sheet now with her 4th goal of the year. And it's 5-1 Trojans. Well, early in this one, we'd emphasize the importance of the Trojans getting some of their star players going, and even though they've been given a rest today and have played limited time, terrific efforts from Abigail Olsen and Peyton Siragusa. They've accounted for 3 of the 5 Trojan goals. This one now will wander past the back line. A goal kick for South Bend. And he wondered how the Trojans would respond to giving up that controversial goal at the end of half number 1. On the stroke of halftime, as it nestled into the back of the net, literally as time expired. Well, they have taken that punch and come back even stronger with a counter of their own. 2 goals early in this second half. Peyton Siragusa getting her 4th of the year. And Olivia McAleer, who checked in late in the first half, did not get a ton of run and has not gotten a ton of run this season, finding the back of the goal for the Trojans. Great to see a couple of these Trojan substitutes getting on the score sheet today, Matthews and McAleer. Now retreating for this one is Wasink and shielding it out of play. She'll take the throw, looking for Siragusa. It will bound out. Flipping possession of the throw over to South Bend. The Titan throw, a low line drive into a thicket of players on both sides. Kerr trying to step free with it. She does so. Vian with a little bit of trickery as she fakes the deep one upfield and instead plays it to Busick, who's now got some room to roam. Morgan Busick into the attacking half, playing it through, looking for Madeline Stacy. Stacy is going to get there first, takes a touch toward the inside, low out in front, and having a go at it were the Trojans. More specifically, Bayard with another quality offensive chance as she tried to hook that one into the upper 90 on the left side. But from a sharp angle, couldn't quite get the finish. The Trojans have done a really nice job of turning some of IUSB's chances into even stronger chances of their own. Now here's Soriaga to Stacy. She'll hit it on goal. And an awkward underhanded save for Paul. She had to improvise on that one, but has the answer. Now this one belted by Paul down the right side. Nice one touch there by Wasink, who got it away to Soriaga. Or rather, Siragusa. So easy to confuse those two just on the merits of the similarity of their names and the fact that I've had to call both of those names a lot. Terrific games today from both. Peyton Siragusa and Emily Soriaga. Siragusa, a goal scorer of late, who was all over on the attacking end for Trinity all afternoon, and Emily Soriaga has generated a ton of quality chances from her midfield position for the Trojans today. Now this one being blown dead as well offside was Jessica Dibley. Would have had an easy breakaway chance had she been on, but no panic from the Trojans as she was several feet offside on that effort. Now a touch from Jordan Aiello, getting it out to Busick. Busick with a nice move, shakes a defender. Busick, does she have a chance? The wall closing, plays it to Stacy, who lobs it on goal! Out in front and tapped home by Olsen. So Abigail Olsen with a tremendous effort today. That is her third, a hat trick for Abigail Olsen. And the Trojans lead it 6-1. So Abigail Olsen was one of the big question marks for TIU this season. After scoring 12 goals and assisting 4 times last year, she had just 1 goal and 2 assists through 11 contests this year. And she's now enhanced both of those totals on an afternoon where she has quadrupled that goal total and parlayed it into a hat trick today. A breakout game that could turn the fortunes of her season for Abigail Olsen. Here's Siragusa playing it back to the rock-solid Vian. Vian finding Sydney Matthews, who scored a goal earlier. Now this one threaded through to Madeline Stacy. Stacy with a head of steam up the right side, taking a touch toward the goal, but getting there just in time is once again Haley Marsh. Couple of times Stacy has taken a touch that has led her out in front to a terrific opportunity and has just been unable to quite catch up with that final touch to put it in the back of the net, but she's generated some really nice chances and had some great runs for the Trojans today. Olsen to take the corner. She'll take it short for Busick, who now loops it in there, but it ends up crashing into the side netting. So a creative play from TIU, trying to catch IUSB off guard, but Busick's cross not quite making it into the danger zone there. Another goal kick for Caitlin Paul. She'll clobber it low. Matthews trying to win the possession, and she does. Back to Kerr. But it ends up a little wide, and Katie Jones stepping in to grab it for IUSB. Now here's Gomez. Gomez evading some defenders. Gomez just never loses her cool out there, the fifth-year veteran, with some good work to calmly get it away from the defenders. And speaking of good work, a nice job to win that one away by Sydney Matthews, even if it was short-lived. Now here comes Katie Jones, trying to turn it on, but running into Busick here, as Busick will get it out of trouble for the Trojans, playing it through to Olsen. Olsen already with a hat trick today. The Trojans win the throw here. Micah Wasink, the steady producer on the back line for TIU. She'll pop it forward to Siragusa, but it finds its way past that line. So South Bend with the throw here. Vian calmly takes it with plenty of time, plays it through, a beautiful ball to Matthews, who threads it through to Bayard. Bayard could have a one-on-one opportunity. The keeper coming out. Bayard evades her and finishes. A beautiful goal from Elizabeth Bayard. And it is 7-1 in favor of TIU. Everyone getting involved in the party for the Trojans, who responded to IUSB's tally late in the first period, and they've piled on for their own in half number 2. That was an absolutely terrific sequence, starting with Vian with a perfect pass to Matthews, who returned the favor with a beautiful ball through to Bayard, who calmly evaded the keeper, Paul, who was forced to vacate her line, and just slapped it into the back of the net. Bayard, a very versatile player, a great defender, but also somebody who can step up and give you quality production on the offensive end, as she showed right there. Here's Busick. Busick tumbling through, but it's taken away by South Bend. Now the Trojans win it back. Gomez. Belting it toward the black shirts, however. Here's Marsh. Marsh trying to make a move, finding Jones. Marsh perhaps tired of just defending and trying to make something happen offensively. But the Trojans have it once more. It's on the feet of Olsen, who has it taken away, but stepping in there is Gomez. Gomez flips it forward. Dangerous area here as Matthews trying to come onto it, but it's calmly played back by Priscilla Ramirez and drilled on out by the goalkeeper, Caitlin Paul. Busick in possession again. Busick perhaps going to have a go at goal here. Busick will fire from any range. Sort of the Steph Curry of the soccer pitch, you could say. She's scored a couple of beautiful deep goals, and if there's nothing better for her there, she is not hesitant to take a deep shot as she did there. That one had plenty of strength on it, but just hooked a little too far past the left post. Now nice work here from Ramirez, but stepping in front of this one is Gomez. Gomez putting it through. Olsen has it. Olsen looking for Siragusa. Siragusa still pestering the ball. And it'll win a corner for the Trojans. Great pursuit by Peyton Siragusa, who made a tremendous impact on that play without even touching the ball. Just putting a lot of pressure on those black shirts with her hustle and winning the Trojan corner. Olsen will loop it in there. And now here's Crick off the rebound, but it's a little bit wide. It was Viviana Blount who got to that one first, but pinged it right to Crick, who then tried to slap it in but was unable to do so on that occasion. Well, we've got our second water break here. A quick stoppage of play as these teams will hydrate up again. It is a pretty hot day, but I don't think the Trojans mind that because they fit right in with the elements. They've been on fire here in the second half. Just a terrific effort, a terrific team effort, as a lot of these Trojan players getting involved in sometimes in capacities they're not used to, but stepping up and playing really impressive soccer in the second half. After the really strange late goal at the buzzer, scored by Katie Jones for IUSB. That one narrowed their first half lead to 3-1. The Trojans have come out with a vengeance in half number 2. Abigail Olson, the big story today, recording a hat trick for the Trojans. But it's been a diverse effort that's also seen their substitutes in Sydney Matthews and Olivia McAleer find the back of the net, as well as the ever-active and explosive Peyton Siragusa. And also Elizabeth Bayert tacking on the 7th for Trinity on a beautiful sequence of pinpointed passes. So just a great all-around effort by TIU. Responding to the game becoming a little bit too close for comfort, and IUSB gaining some steam to explode in this second half and put this thing pretty much out of reach. All the conference rivals retaking the field here. The action about to get underway once more here at Shartner Field. Even as we get later into the afternoon, the heat is really continuing to stay constant. Not a lot of cloud cover. It is clear, sunny skies, and a midsummer type of vibe here on an October day. This one looped out in front, but a nice defensive effort by Marsh. A really skilled backline defender. Now it's belted toward the goal by Busick, but a little bit wide, so a goal kick for IUSB. Even though the result is likely to be decided at this stage in the contest, still a lot to play for these two sides. South Bend has been starting to garner some momentum, even though they're about to be 0-11 on the season should the Trojans finish this one off. They've now scored for the first time this season in each of their last 2 games, and a couple more goals late in this one would work wonders for them, while the Trojans just continuing to look to get their key players and their substitutes both involved in this one. They're going to need every player on their roster, considering they are not all that deep, to play quality soccer throughout this season. Here's Vian. Olsen skillfully keeping it in. Soriaga. Back to Vian. Vian calling out her teammate Stacy, but they can't connect on the run. Gomez has it. Plays it back to Bayert, hustling to keep it in. Bayert with a nice touch. Finds one of the goal scorers, Sydney Matthews. Matthews toward the corner, but too much steam on it for Stacy, and it'll be a goal kick for the Titans. Under 20 minutes to play in this one.
That last one, that wasn't really, I wouldn't say that was a shot. I think it was played for Madeline.
Here's Olsen hooking up with Matthews, but that one is batted downward. Stacy fighting for it and winning it for the Trojans. Great effort from Madeline Stacy. She's not gotten in the score sheet, but she's done a lot of things that don't show up on it while manning that right side striker spot for TIU. Now this one handled calmly by Gomez, and now a touch for Davis. Davis plays it out wide to Bayard. Bayard on the ground for Stacy. Stacy to Matthews. Matthews twirling with possession. Chopping it in. On the run is Crick, trying to get there first, but stepping in once again is the Iron Man defender, Haley Marsh. We've seen Caitlin Paul be very aggressive in coming off her line, and I'm not sure that was a good time to do so. She's fortunate that Marsh was able to step in and stave that chance away. Bayard will take the throw. Looking for Matthews. It's cleared out momentarily. Busick finding Soriaga. Now here's Olsen with a head of steam down that left side that she loves going down so much. Lobbing it in. It's fanned on, but now checking up over the head of Stacy. Stacy retreats and grabs it. Stacy to Busick. Busick will have a go. And Olsen's on it. Still in play, but now trickling on out. Not sure if that attempt was toward the goal by Busick or if she was looking to lob a cross in. But either way, it generated a chance for Olsen, who was unable to put the finish on it as she's done 3 times today on that occasion. 7-1 Trinity here in this home conference clash. Low goal kick taken by Caitlin. Olsen with some good individual work, and she's tripped up and wins a free kick in a dangerous area for the Trojans. That was just outside the box. So narrowly missing out on a penalty opportunity was Olsen. But she will have the opportunity to reap the fruits of her labor as she will take this dangerously spotted free kick from just outside the 18. Olsen running up and slapping it toward goal, batted down, out in front. Bayard almost had a shot at the rebound, but it's eventually corralled by Caitlin Paul. Good firm shot clearing the wall from Abigail Olsen as she looked for her 4th. But Paul up to task on this occasion. Now here's Katie Jones, the lone goal scorer and really lone major offensive contributor for the Titans today. Toward the sideline, here's Olsen looking to find Sarah Crick. Crick working her way around the defender. Crick with a head of steam. Crick out in front and just slices it wide. A terrific chance for Sarah Crick to score her 5th goal this season. She had Paul off her line, had a brilliant look, and just missed the goal mouth there. A wry smile from Sarah Crick. She's already scored 4 goals for TIU this season, an unexpected source of production for them. The freshman who came in as a goalkeeper, just barely missing out on that opportunity. Now the Trojans trying to generate another one, and this time she does capitalize. So how often in life does the game provide you a second chance so quickly, just moments after missing that one wide? Crick jumps on this one, and she was not to be denied twice. So Sarah Crick puts it in for the Trojans and makes it an 8-1 lead for TIU. It's the 5th goal of the season for Sarah Crick. She had scored in 4 consecutive contests earlier, then a 2-game hiatus, and now back in the score sheet again. So all told, she's scored in 5 of the last 7 matches for the Trojans. A terrific and unexpected source of production as she was brought in to be the second or third string goalkeeper for TIU and now finds herself as one of their most effective scorers. A great and very surprising story for TIU continuing to unfold with her 5th goal of the season. Now Peyton Siragusa and Olivia McAleer coming back in for TIU as Crick will get a rest, as will Abigail Olson. Goal scorers coming on and coming off. McAleer has scored 1, as has Siragusa, and now Crick just moments ago. And Abigail Olson with a hat trick to her credit today. Those substitutes coming on and off in that moment, accounting for a lot of production for the Trojans, specifically 6 of those 8 Trojan goals being accounted for in that 4-player transaction moments ago. Now Bayard, pass intercepted by Marsh. Chopped on through, here's Dibley. Dibley with some momentum, looking to find Jones again. Looking for Jones, and it does carry him free. Davis is off her line. She's able to retreat in time. Jones now spinning with it, though the rush has been quelled. Here's Marsh now pushing up toward the offensive end, seeing what she can do. Good pursuit by Micah Wassink, but a foul is called. Wassink a little bit physical that time around, though the officials have largely let things like that go. Surprising to see the whistle blown here. It will be Katie Jones to take it. Sarah Davis organizing her troops. The Trojan line is going to come up high, as IUSB will try to time their run with the strike, and the strategy is effective for the Trojans this time, forcing Jones to potentially take a crack at goal, and it spins wide. So now the goal kick for Davis. She'll play it to the left side. Headed onward. And now the Trojans in pursuit, but plenty of time for Caitlin Paul to get it away from the pursuing McAleer. Good effort by Peyton Siragusa to deny the pass, but it leads to a Titan throw. Under 12 minutes to play now. Battle for the ball, some nifty footwork down the sideline by Soriaga as she comes out of the pack with it. Soriaga down the sideline looking for her teammates, but she wipes out here. No foul called. It's a Trojan throw for Siragusa. Back to Wassink. Wassink to Busick. IUSB will clear it on up into the bleachers. The Titans hanging on for dear life at this point, but the Trojans continuing to pursue. Looking for that 9th goal of the day. This one scooted through on the ground, and this one is out. Battle for the ball, won away by TIU. Wassink to Busick. Busick looking to join the party here. She'll have a go at goal, and a little bit high this time. So Morgan Busick, one of those players you have got to watch out for, no matter where she is on the field. If she's remotely within striking distance, she's going to take a crack at it, unless a better opportunity presents itself. It's led her to a career offensive campaign, even though we're early in the season. Already 4 goals and 4 assists for Busick. This one will find its way out. Yet another throw for TIU. They'll try to play it quickly, but it is intercepted. Toward the middle, and Gomez stepping in. Katie Jones for IUSB working against a trio of white shirts, and nothing doing there. As Davis will play it out, and here's Bayard. We'll see if she can get an attack going downfield once again. Busick is on it. Plays it through to Soriaga. Here's Siragusa. Siragusa lofting it in front. Stacy got a touch on it, but the flag was up. So Madeline Stacy with another quality chance there. She's had quite a few of those, though she hasn't been able to get on the score sheet yet. One more chance for Stacy working against the defender Estrada. It's taken away for the moment. Here come the Titans down the sideline. Here's Dibley. Good defense by Busick. Dibley will chuck it in. Corralled off the chest by Aiello. And now worked free by Busick. Here's Soriaga. She's created a lot of chances today. Now it's played out wide. Siragusa with some space to operate. Puts it in toward the middle, on goal, and just barely saved by Paul on another terrific chance from Sydney Matthews, who was in pursuit of a brace with that attempt. A terrific save from Paul on a really nice strike from Sydney Matthews, who already scored earlier in the contest. Here's Busick trying to shoot it through to McAleer, and another diving save. So McAleer and Matthews, a couple of the Trojan substitutes who have already gotten on the score sheet today, both in pursuit of their second and both denied within the span of a couple of seconds by Caitlin Paul. Katie Jones for South Bend. Bayard steps in. Here is Matthews with some time. Takes a deflection off a South Bend defender, and Aiello is on it. Now here is Dibley, but she is offsides. And some frustration from the Titans here, as that was a very close call. The official maybe wasn't quite in prime position to make it. So some controversy here as a Titan attack snuffed out due to the offside. Now Gomez lofting it in long, looking for Stacy. Stacy able to get there and try to chop it in front, but stepping in the way of that is Estrada. Rolls out the back for another Trojan corner, however. So under 7 to play in this one. A dominant effort from start to finish by TIU. The team in white looking for their 9th. Morgan Busick will take the corner. It's a low one. Defended for the moment and now curled into the side netting on the effort from McAleer. So now with just over 6 minutes remaining, the TIU Trojans putting the finishing touches on a very impressive victory. 3 goals from Abigail Olson, a score from Peyton Siragusa, one from Elizabeth Bayard. A couple of the Trojan substitutes being shown some love here with McAleer and Matthews finding the back of the net. Now what a strike by Emily Soriaga. And that one is into the side netting, curled in beautifully from range. And the Trojans refuse to stop. They have another. And that one is a well-deserved goal for Emily Soriaga, who has been terrific for the Trojans all afternoon. She's been so efficient and effective in the midfield. and has given several of her teammates quality chances, and now she creates one for herself and finishes it off. So add her to the extensive list of Trojan goal scorers today. Marsh with it, the do-it-all defender for the Titans. She's been really impressive today. Chopping this one on out. Bayert has some time. Scoots it through on the ground to Busick. Busick has great speed with the ball, and she'll try to play this one through. Soriaga's going to get there first again. Soriaga takes the touch, and this one's just wide right. So once again, coming off her line was Caitlin Paul. Sometimes she's maybe misjudged a few, but a lot of times it's been out of necessity due to some of the brilliant balls put in by the Trojans. And Soriaga had a shot at a brace within a matter of seconds there, but curls this opportunity just wide of the right post. A terrific afternoon for TIU. The first half concluded with them only leading by a 3-1 margin, with a bounding ball finding its way home for IUSB to reduce the margin to 2 in the final seconds. In fact, as time expired, the ball kicked by Katie Jones found its way to the back of the net to make it only a 3-1 Trojan advantage, and I think the Trojans responded, thought we can do better than this, and they have certainly put this one out of reach with a dominant second half. Siragusa through to Matthews. Matthews and Stacy combining to retain possession for the Trojans. Stacy working the right sideline again. Stacy still on the ball here. She will loft it in there where it's corralled by Caitlin Paul. 3 minutes left in this one. It's the Trojans 9 and Indiana University South Bend 1. A great afternoon to be a Trojan here. It's been a rocky start to their season, but they're firing on all cylinders right here and now. This one finding its way into the box. Busick trying to pounce on it, but it's cleared on out by Ramirez. The Trojans perhaps looking for one more, but this one from Siragusa scooted on the ground and a little bit too shallow as it stays left of that near post. Another goal kick for Paul and the Titans. IUSB in no hurry here. Now Paul plays it in. Bayard with great effort that she's showcased all season long, finding a way to win the throw for TIU. Stacy quickly playing it back to Bayard. Bayard bursting down the right side, trying to find Stacy, but it's intercepted for the moment. Soriaga is back on it quickly. Vian through to Busick. Here's Gomez. Gomez with a nice move, getting it to Morgan Busick. Busick now putting it through, but good defense by Marsh to work it out of the box. Now here's Soriaga. She'll have a go, but it stays high and wide. So the Trojans have thrown all that IUSB can handle at them and then some, because in the end they haven't been able to handle everything. It's 9-1 TIU with a minute remaining. Some positives for South Bend. After not scoring at all in their first 9 games, they've now got a goal in each of their last 2. So starting to generate some positive momentum. But the Trojans are going to get a much-needed win and a really great feel-good performance as they continue to get Abigail Olson and Peyton Siragusa going. Olson with a hat trick today, Siragusa scoring as well. And the substitutes, McAleer and Matthews, finding the back of the net, much to the delight of themselves and their teammates. A great afternoon for the Trojans. They will look to tack on one more here late. This one scooted toward the goalkeeper, Paul, who falls on it, and just 10 seconds remaining, and it seems like the Titans will be content to run this one out. And there is the final horn as it's booted away. So the Trojans seal the deal. They improve to 3-8-1 with a dominating conference victory, 9-1 the final. As TIU is victorious, a long list of goal scorers today. Abigail Olson getting it done with a hat trick for the Trojans, who also got great production out of Elizabeth Bayert, Peyton Siragusa, Emily Soriaga, Sarah Crick, Olivia McAleer, and Sydney Matthews, who also all scored for the Trojans in an impressive balanced effort that has seen them have a really nice bounce back after a hotly contested 2-1 loss in conference to Roosevelt in their homecoming game. They bounce right back with a terrific win, and there is lots to feel good about for this Trojan 11. So this one is final. TIU gets it done here on a sunny afternoon at Shartner Field, 9-1, the final.